where the federal government passed laws and regulations championed by Trump, accreditation would only have to mirror it. Abner contended the biggest open secret is that Trump's message genuinely resonates with people, and Democrats need to accept that and unpack it without denigrating those who support his message, which is not working. So, to the extent that liberalism is undetermined, it is not just because of Trump. It's undermined. It is not just because of Trump. It is because many Americans want autocratic leadership or fear standing up to an authoritarian leader, which is a hard pill to swallow. Maybe we are not as exceptional as we think. What is most concerning about Trump, Abner continued, is not that he will do things that are illegal, because what does illegal mean at this point? What is most concerning is that he will extend his power lawfully, and that if and possibly, when he publicly bullies and intimidates everyday American citizens and leaders of institutions, there will not be enough good people in positions of power to say that it is wrong and profoundly un-American. From what we know so far, it appears that Abner may be right. And that's the end of this opinion article.
I mean, that's really, like, from the unsupportive side of Trump, those are the two main opinions right there. You got one hand, which anecdotally I've seen commonly, oh, everything will be just fine, this is just what we do, we argue, this is what we do. And then you have the other side going, I don't think you understand. The guy has replaced, or is planning to replace, everybody from the generals to what that is absolute party control. It's not the people for the government, it's the people for the party. And that's what people don't understand. Like, when you have one voice that tells you that this is the opinion that you will hear, like for instance, when he talks about he's gonna go after the media, all the media except for Fox, that's because, what are you doing? You're telling people you will listen to this and you will not listen to anything else. When you go after academia, you're telling them, hey, no, being stupid's better. Like, don't listen to the actual scholars or the people who know what they're talking about, listen to me. You know, and that's what's scary about all of this. And people are just too damn blind to see it. I don't know if anybody listening knows, but I hate Trump. Actually, I hate MAGA. I don't.
He's our president. We're sworn, actually, as retired military.
My oath told me not to swear an oath.
Really? Your oath? Your oath was to not swear an oath?
My oath was not to ever cave to an authoritarian. Like, it's in the oath.
No, I understand that. You're supposed to only do what's legal. So
Right.
when, for example, in that article, he says Trump could use a SEAL team to assassinate someone.
He could.
You know, the SEAL team is not going to assassinate someone.
When you replace all the generals with party loyalists, they might.
I don't.
He's doing it right now.
Yeah, I think the moral values are embedded so deeply in.
I think the team members would probably be like, yeah, no.
Yeah. No, we're not doing that.
But the generals would probably execute the order.
Well, I don't think it was in this article, but other people have pointed out. Remember what happened in Vietnam with Lieutenant Calley, and yet I think Lieutenant Calley was the scapegoat.
There's so many.
I mean, apparently he was ordered to destroy a village because of the possibility that there were VC in the village, and they did.
Actually,
250 people or so.
Slaughtered.
And then he was the one that was found guilty and sent to jail for it. And the higher ups that ordered him to do it did not. And there's also arguments that wasn't the only such incident.
No,
you know?
and it happens in every war and every conflict we've ever had. It happened in Iraq while I was there. You know, like, I watched a specialist get scapegoated for what a captain ordered him to do. But that is unfortunately the game we play.
So that I fortunately never felt like I was ordered to do something that was morally
I haven't.
against my beliefs.
But I know damn well I put my foot down.
That's there. But I was never in I mean, Really, the most significant thing I had to deal with was when you're listening to open radios, you can hear anything, and it's up to you to make sure you don't listen to someone who's an American citizen. You know, so you have to decide. Oh, I won't do that. There's no one sitting there checking on you to know that
Oh, no, you have to make your own conscious choices. Yeah.
But in any case, so criticizing this argument now, he's clearly got a bias
Yeah.
for the same liberal side that Stephen Haycock's does. There are, of course, folks out there. The Hoover Institute, by the way, if you ever go and visit them, in fact, let's do that. The Hoover Institute. And I want to go to visit videos. Notice Condoleezza Rice was the Secretary of State, if I'm remembering correctly, for George W. Bush. So she's a conservative point of view. She works, by the way, for the Hoover Institute. She's the director. So, you know, that gives you an idea. Okay, so the Hoover Institute is a conservative point of view.
Why is Navage perfect for nasal congestion?
The most common complaint that I will hear in my office is, I have congestion.
I'm looking to share this so that you're...
It's Thursday, October 17th, 2024, and welcome back to Goodfellows, a Hoover Institution broadcast examining social, economic, political, and geopolitical concerns. I'm Bill Whalen. I'm a Hoover Distinguished Policy Fellow, and I'll be your moderator for the course of the next hour. Looking forward to a spirited conversation featuring not one, two, but all three of our Goodfellows, as we jokingly refer to them. That would be the economist John Cochrane, historian Neil Ferguson, and former presidential national security advisor, geostrategist, and all-around institutional nice guy, Lieutenant General H.R. McMaster. All three are Hoover Institution senior fellows. Now, before we go any further, you notice we have a different look and feel.
Notice General McMaster was President Trump's, what was he? The Armed Forces? He was in his cabinet. He was one of the... So this panel are eminently intellectuals.
I wouldn't call them that.
Well, but they're all also... Well, Neil Ferguson, I mean, not only is he an intellectual, but he's British, so he has a... Actually, he has Scottish. Scottish. And so he has an accent that makes him sound even more intellectual. And quite frankly, I've got a lot of his books, and they're very good.
There's disinformation out the ass on this site.
Well, now here's what I'm trying to suggest.
Here's one paragraph. President Trump rightly points out that America did not engage in new wars during his term in office. That's true. The world is indeed more stable place for Biden administration place before the Biden administration engineered the disastrous exit from Afghanistan. That was organized by Trump, not Biden.
Well, what I went to this site to do was to point out that even though I selected two individuals that are associated with the liberal intelligentsia, if you like, these folks are eminently qualified. I mean, if you look at their experience and their degrees and the institution, which is part of Stanford University, which is an Ivy League school, the caliber of their thinking is high, and their position is pro-Trump. So these are oppositional voices to the two that I just laboriously read to you. I hope I didn't bore you to death. But remember, reading, writing, speaking, communicating are considered to be our most critical skills. So if you're supposed to get anything from this course, being able to listen to those kinds of arguments which is not something you could just do without practice.
No.
You know, it's like doing push-ups. You need to do push-ups before you get to the point where the drill sergeant says, knock them out until I get tired. You know, and you know, if you want to try to get him tired by you doing push-ups, you have to do a lot of push-ups. So you have to work your way up to this kind of thing. So if you're not reading, you're not writing, you're not engaged in the conversation, these kinds of lengthy essays are the sort of thing that actually you're expected to be able to do. And to do that, you really need to daily do these kinds of things. But I'm also pointing out that the only people that do that are not just liberals, but you've got people that are on the other side of the fence. And these are not wackos.
Some of them are.
Well, I personally would defend the members of the Hoover Institute, and when you listen to them enough, you get a very different point of view of what's actually going on, and it's a detailed, historically based view, and you get into, of course, this I think the real physics of this problem. Liberal folks want to spread the wealth. Conservative folks want to reward only those who, in a sense, have earned the wealth.
Then they're tearing down the meritocracy.
Well, they're tearing down a liberal meritocracy.
Oh, so only a conservative meritocracy counts.
I think that would be their goal, yes. Well, I remember William F. Buckley Jr. When he was arguing with James Baldwin at the Oxford debate team, which, by the way, that is on YouTube. You could watch it. His one comment in response to James Baldwin, who said not enough black people are voting, William F. Buckley Jr. said it's not a matter of not enough black people
Right.
voting, it's a matter of too many white people voting.
I will agree with that.
Because, you know, from his Yale education, etc., his point of view was that, you know, you have too many people that don't understand the issues voting,
That's a fact.
and what happens is, of course, that they vote for candidates or whatever that are simply dumb. You know, these won't work. And so the real question that I think this poses for all of us is, conservatives say these kinds of policies can't work. They physically can't work. And the biggest issue we have is the debt. If you look right now at the amount of money that the government of the United States owes.
It's policy review from the, I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
The policy review from the Hoover Institute comes from the Heritage Foundation. There is no more deeply biased conservative foundation in existence.
Which is
In
why
my
I
opinion.
find them very important to listen to and stay in touch with, because what if they are right?
The Heritage Foundation are the ones, or one of the main ones responsible for drawing up Project 2025. If they're supporting the Hoover Institute, that makes me really think twice about anything the Hoover Institute says.
But you see, my argument is that we need to listen to both sides. You know, it's like Einstein saying, oh, you know what, we're way past our
Oh crap, you got me on politics, so I lose track of time.
and you've got a class, you said,
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
something.
But my point is, I do listen to both sides. I don't mean to sound like I'm railing on Trump because that's the comment of the day. But in reality, I'm very centrist. I'm not a liberal by any means, and I do not like the Democrats. But I see a greater evil on the right than I do on the left. You know, because I listen to both sides.
Alrighty. Well, so for those who will come here next Tuesday at 10 o'clock, I will see you then. I am going to email them about the problems with both the projector and the camera here. They're both in the ceiling. That makes me think that, you know,
Something's wrong with the electric.
something's wrong with the electric.
There's no reason that I should be overheating without even being on.
Yeah.
So it just tells me that something's probably grounded out.
I'm closing up shop here, guys. Thank you. Did you have any questions?
What was the quiz question?
Oh,
Thank you
yeah.
very much. I actually posted
Damn it,
it
Caleb.
on the notes for today, and I meant to actually show you the link. There's a debate on intelligence squared between Boris Johnson, who at the time of the debate, he was the mayor of London,